Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you all had a great weekend. Always fun to come back to work on a Monday. I find that as much as I try to relax on the weekends, the nature of our business doesn't allow for that. But I never complain because it's really a labor of love to help people. But I want to take the opportunity in this video just to address a couple of comments that were made with regards to my last video, which had to do with the fact that of the, I guess, $54 million that's coming into the state of Florida as a result of the state of emergency declared by the governor. Apparently we're only getting $400,000 here in Palm Beach County, and of that money, it's apparently being used for medically assisted treatment. And I got a little blowback from folks who said, hey, well, listen, there's evidence that this stuff works. And listen, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a scientist. I only know what I see in my practice, okay? And what I see is kids, individuals from the ages of 18 to 30 who are addicted to drugs as a result of opioids that have been prescribed to them by doctors who are pushed and prodded and incentivized by pharmaceutical companies to give kids opioids when they probably don't need them. And that's my rub, and that's what's irritated me, and the fact we're going to give more money to the pharmaceutical companies to fix a problem that they in large part cause, frankly, just rubs me the wrong way. So, I mean, statistics or no statistics, I got a problem with that. Now, if we can use some type of medically assisted treatment to get people off drugs and ultimately into some type of abstinence-based treatment, I'm all for that conversation. But if you're going to tell me we're going to take one opioid and just sort of, swap it in for another one, yeah, I got a problem with that. I really do. And I think a lot of other people do too. That being said, there was a really interesting 60 Minutes piece on the TV last night. It was a follow-up to the 60 Minutes piece they had done a couple of weeks ago, which basically talked about the fact that our federal government has wimped out when it comes to going after the big pharmaceutical companies who are peddling these drugs to our kids and whoever else is being prescribed them. And the first show talked about the fact that the DEA basically has had their hands tied. Yesterday's show talked about the fact that with whatever power they have, apparently they haven't had the stones to take these guys to the court. And I think one of the companies they specifically talked about was McKesson. So I don't have a problem talking about it because apparently the whole country heard about McKesson last night. And they made something like $200 billion last year in, as a result of selling pharmaceuticals. And, they got a whopping $150 million fine. Now, I haven't done the math, but I bet it doesn't take a whole lot of time for them to make $150 million. And seeing as how no one's going to jail or being indicted or prosecuted, I don't suppose they care much about the fact that they're getting basically a slap on the wrist. So, I wanted to just share that with you. My practice is focused on helping individuals who are in crisis because of addiction and mental illness. And I lay a large part of that blame on the fact that we as a society have had, these drugs, basically rammed down our throats. And one of the reasons I got involved in the opioid litigation is to help families that have suffered, whose kids have overdosed, who have lost kids as a result of this. So, I don't apologize for that. And if you know anybody who has had a child that was prescribed an opioid and has since overdosed or worse, has died, then I want you to give us a call and ask to speak to, the opioid litigation team, because we can help people. And the only way to fight back is to punish the pharmaceutical companies. Now, I know money doesn't bring a loved one back, but it gets a little justice for the family, and that's ultimately what it's all about. So anyway, I always appreciate the comments. I love I love the comments that challenge me intellectually. And for the folks out there who posted things on Facebook disagreeing with what I said, listen, keep it coming. I always enjoy an intellectual conversation. And for anybody else, if you know a family that's in crisis that needs help, have them give us a call. Thank you, and I look forward to chatting with everybody very soon. Bye-bye.